Hello all my sleeping bears, my name is Chronically Blue and welcome back to episode 4 of Bastion. Now that I can actually see everything, we're actually going to go ahead and take a little trip over to the Proving Grounds with the Kale Hammer. We can do more damage with it if we attack without moving, however, that's something that I'm really not good at.
The city's unwanted things all met their end in the yard.
So thankfully, they're never going to...
Folks who fouled up will do their time here, smashing things to bits.
Okay, cool. So thankfully, the developers...
The quicker they work, the sooner they can
I'm talking
go.
over you now. So thankfully, the developers never hid mementos behind the Proving Grounds. The mementos are very easy to find throughout the levels. They only hid the upgrades and such throughout the Proving Grounds. Which, you know, if you're going to use a weapon more, it makes sense to put the upgrade with the Proving Grounds. So it's like, hey, you can use this thing. Here's an upgrade so you can make it even better. So it does make sense there. I am very excited. We are currently at 1 whole week of getting stuff ready in advance.
Good day smashing to feed a family for a week.
So we got the first and second prize, but we did not get the third prize. Again, the third prize is just the secret skills. Together we have to do 27 seconds or less. For that, we're going to have to upgrade. It doesn't matter how many times you do a Proving Ground, you can always come back to it after you upgrade your weapons, so you can always upgrade it, come back, if that doesn't work, switch it around, try again, it's completely fine.
Ever want to just smash things for a while? You know where to go.
Yeah, the game's not going to punish you for going to the Proving Grounds multiple times. It actually kind of encourages you to do so. However, between 50% damage and 10% critical hit chance, we're still just going to stay with 50%. And if we got the third, or the second, technically the second... Okay, so let me try again. If you get the second something heavy item, then it will show you what the third upgrade is. See, just like with the something coarse, because we have all three, we get to see what the third one would be. As you see here, I'm just going through and selecting all of my upgrades for stuff that really works. I really enjoy attacks that cripple foes. With the Breaker's Bow, it really does depend. I sometimes...
Turns out those old bones still have some spark in
That's
them.
great. I sometimes tend to go for the attack penetration, although sometimes I tend to go over for the damage. It really depends if I'm doing a Proving Ground or not. If I'm doing a Proving Ground, I'm definitely going to go for the more penetration. If I'm not doing a Proving Ground, I'm most likely just going to go for the damage, because it's way better to do the damage than it is for the penetration.
The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off.
Here we have one of my least favorite enemies, the birds. If you do not like seeing people kill video game birds, you can skip past this.
Riverbanks swarming with windbags.
But there is going to be
They're so
a lot
bent
of
on
birds. It's
finding
going to be
core
very,
they hardly
very
notice
unfun
it.
for me.
Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat.
Now, unfortunately, I did not switch my weapons before this level, which I really should have done.
She'll send some squirts.
Oh, no, wait.
flying
No,
off
I'm
as
fine.
she leaves port.
I
Maybe Nellie
confused
knows way
the
to the core.
spread shot for a
Maybe
different
she
weapon,
can
which
slip
I don't know
right
if we have or
past
not
all the
yet.
clamor on the coast. Or maybe not. A security skiff pulls up portside.
Now, there is going to be boats and
just
such
another
that
windbag to those
pull up
guns.
next to you. Do not try to go on them. They are just there to house enemies.
Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with.
There is a lot of story and a lot of lore to this game. I'm going to pay attention to as much of it as possible while still keeping it entertaining.
They try to cut her off.
However, there's specifically, like, when we get to the major parts, such as the smoking pipe or
They try to slow her
the
down.
cooking stew, that's when it's, like, full on, hey, this is the backstory of the character.
They try
So,
to knock her
we
out.
would definitely full focus ahead, only talking during the fighting bits on those parts. For this part, it's just
Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder.
meh.
Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors.
I can't say though, it is very nice in order to be able to not be as close to the mic. Like, specifically on the instructions for this microphone, it says, hey, don't angle it right at you. Have it sit up and talk at it. Don't have it, like, listen, like, top down.
You picked a good spot for a break. The core's right there.
As well as this microphone has a lot less complicated settings than the Snowball. The Snowball had 3 different settings you can choose from. This one, it only has 2, thankfully. You can choose if you want all-around sound or just facing sound. And I'm doing just facing sound because I'm talking facing
then
it.
The kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings.
Oh, I hate this part.
They've been watching his every move.
Yes, so here we have a bunch of birds. They're very hard and annoying and very... At least we get 15 experience for them. That's the most I can say for that.
Ain't got time to think it over just yet.
With the birds, because they are constantly moving, it is highly suggested you get a short-range spread weapon, not a long-range one-shot weapon.
Raring to go.
So I would really not suggest the hammer. I would not suggest the machete.
The waters get rough.
Maybe the bone crossbow, just because it's really quick at firing shots and you don't have to aim it. But at the same time, you can't move while shooting, so maybe not that as well. So I would definitely say that the spread shotgun or the musket is the best choice for fighting off the birds. And don't worry, we're gonna see a lot more of them, because of course we are. It'll be awesome. But at least we get 15 experience for killing them, which is just more experience for us to use at the distillery in order to use more drinks in order to assist us in the next levels.
Don't seem to care what they shoot.
Do you see that? Do you see how great that is about how the breaker's bow can deal damage over time, so you only have to shoot an enemy once, and then it deals the damage over time, so you can just ignore it. It's awesome. I love it. It's great. This is the part where I tried to get on top of the boat just because there is stuff there. However, you really shouldn't do that, because very quickly it's going to fall down. However, I didn't know that, despite playing this game previously. At least the, like, I'm very happy about that, where if you fall off, it's not going to take off all your health, it'll take off like a small sliver. So you can be like, oh, hey, that was an accident. Now, if you fall off the same parts multiple times, you can definitely die. But if you lose all your health, then it gives you the chance to carry on.
With her last breath, Ellie gets the kid to solid ground. Solid ground in pecker country.
I'm tired of all these peckers. These peckers are bothering me.
They want that core.
Who else is tired of all these peckers? Like, all these peckers are in my face, and I just don't want them to be there. I'm so tired of all these peckers. They are so hard and long and just too... They're too much to control. These peckers are too wild. We need to stop these peckers. We need to stop these peckers immediately.
3 times.
We need pecker control. I'm sorry, I couldn't stop myself.
Now, listen close. You should remember this next part.
Peckers are an aggressive species of bird now harboring a post-calamity superiority complex. Post-calamity means after calamity. Superiority means they're better than everyone else, which is why they like to attack immediately. They do not care.
Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far.
So apparently this place is very dangerous because very few people actually go out here, or very dumb people go out here. Luckily, we are both.
The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that.
Now,
but on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it?
Okay, so apparently we're going to see some wonderful stuff here. I highly doubt that. This just looks like every other level, but I mean that in a good way.
The kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while.
What do you hear? Is it humming? There's some slight humming.
How's it go again?
You're asking me like I know. You're telling the story here, the stranger. It's kind of like when, in the movie Encanto, when they call the grandma in Spanish. Abuela. You're just like, yes, I would love to eat at the restaurant. That sounds so good right now. I do hear some faint singing, so I think that's definitely going to lead us into what's going to happen next. I think we might find someone. I can't tell if it's English or not. I think they're singing English. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But then again, that's just because like it's very quiet and like it's mumbling a little bit. And if you sing or say or rap anything very quiet and mumbly, it'll be very easy for me to be like, what language is this in? And they're like, it's in English. I'm like, are you sure? I highly doubt that this is in English. And I was like, no, it is. And then after, like, it's like with Sia, if any of you listen to Sia. When you first listen to her, it's very hard to make out the words she's saying. But after listening to her like 5 or 10 times, being like, oh, I fully understand her. It's just one of those weird things where you gotta listen to it a lot in order to be able to decode it. We do have these flying platforms, and as you see, I am going over to the parts where the trees are sprawled out a little bit in order to try to get more souls and health tonics and black tonics and everything else and find more stuff and get the mementos. And this is probably annoying, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop. But using the sky bridge, we can go ahead and activate the switch over here, which causes the bridge to pop up. But we did not explore this little bit over here, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and check over here just to see what we got here. Ooh, we opened that up. I think that might be helpful. Okay, well, at least we got a health tonic and another sky bridge, which it just yeets us back over here. Awesome. As you can tell, there is a bit of a faint singing. I'm not sure who that is or what that is. It might be in my head. We're hoping for the best here. You know, it's 10:43 p.m. I'm tired. This is like my... Oh yeah, this is like my 6th video I've recorded today. So, we're just... Oh, no, sorry, 4th. This is my 4th video I've recorded today, so I'm just doing my best here. So those little, like, purple onion things that you're going to see, try to avoid them, or if you have to go by them, try to shoot them immediately.
Next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes. They'll be here before too long.
So now we have found The Singer. Very fantastic title. We also found the hand-bound journal, which I'm sure we're going to learn a little bit more about, as well as we have a bunch of trinkets.
We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow her again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find.
I don't remember getting the core.
Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either.
Apparently we're getting close to the end of the game, which is awesome.
Most of the Ura never got a taste of Caelondia's fine goods. Unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see. But leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there, and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal.
I can't believe we're almost done with the game.
If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much.
Well, since we have the final core, we're just going to go ahead and activate the shrine, which
Behold, the Pantheon.
has the idols, which I really don't care for.
A Kobe.
Foes shall grow quicker and strike faster. Yeah, no, I'm alright. With the Lost and Found, though, it will be able to... because we just unlocked the shrine, we do have a bunch of idols that we unlocked that I'm not going to buy and I'm not going to use because I don't really care about it.
Breakers. Ain't no one can outrun them. Or their arrows.
If I'm going to go over here and try to upgrade some of my weapons, it's never too early to upgrade your stuff. Upgrade it as soon as possible. I promise you, you will not be upset because you upgraded something too soon. Now, what you would be upset about is spending your souls on upgrading a weapon that you don't really care for. So that really depends if that's something that you care about or not. I think we're going to go back over to the Lost and Found in order to get the something bony. Something nasty, that's what it is.
Finders keepers. He ain't all that
It looks like a
shy.
bone. What can I say? A skull, I mean. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to... So we're not going to do the improved firing rate. Just ignore this little section here.
That
We are
ought to
going
make
to
those
do
fangs
the
sink in nice and
reload
deep.
and the damage. I'm telling you this
We tracked the
because
final core beyond the city to the
we
wild.
did lots of cuts. We're going to do the proving ground for the Trapper Shangle. So just ignore the ones that I did. Do the complete opposite of that. And that's how you're going to beat this. Now what we have to do is we have to shoot all 64 targets here. But it's not that easy. The ground very slowly falls apart behind us. But again, you can't move while aiming. And thankfully you don't really aim, it just aims for you. So you just have to hope that you have enough damage as well as enough arrows. And the big thing I can say here is try to time the reloads. Like when you get down to 1 arrow, that's the worst thing. Try to save at least 4 arrows for the next enemy or target, so that way you don't have to keep waiting. That's the biggest thing I can say here. As well as when the targets are flashing red, that means that they are very close to being defeated, so definitely do your best. And just like that, we got all 64 targets.
Master trappers got what they needed for a better hunt.
And if you fall off that before finishing, the proving ground stops right there and it's like, nope, this is how many you got before you fell off. And that's it. So thankfully, it saves us some time by editing and making it so that way we don't have to sit through the 3 or 4 attempts that I put through.
Trappers would have been impressed with how the kid handled the shingle.
Yeah, so with that, we have already gone ahead and completed a few of the proving grounds. We got in first place, or first prize of quite a few times. We got the scrap salvo, and that's about everything that we got here. I'm going to go ahead and check here. Again, that was the little stuff that I had there. This is the quick little glimpse. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoy, and next time we will take a huff of the pipe. Goodbye, CP Bears.